Dear Diary, this week sucked ass. So I'm trying something new today. Basically what I'm trying to do is start a weekly check-in, update, touch base video. The format for this first episode will basically go like this. I'm gonna give some quick BookTube shoutouts to videos I've seen this week that I thought were really cool, and maybe you should check them out too. After that, I'll talk about a few current events, and then just talk about what I've been watching, what I've been reading, how my writing is going, and at the end, I will do a giveaway for a $25 Barnes & Noble gift card, an e-gift card that I can just email to the winner, and I'll talk about that at the end of the video, so stick around. I don't know what this will turn into, but I figured I would give this a shot, mostly to keep myself accountable. So I can say, this week I'm coming out with this video, and this video, and this video, and I'm saying this publicly, so it'll make me feel like I have to actually follow through with it and do it. All right, every week there are so many incredibly talented people making content, making videos, and this week was no different. First off, there was a really cool discussion about The Broken Empire by Mark Lawrence and The Red Queen's War, also by Mark Lawrence, by two booktubers who consistently put out awesome content, and that is Slowly Read and Philip Chase. They have an entire discussion video where they talk about The Broken Empire and The Red Queen's War. I could only watch half of it because although I've read the entire Broken Empire trilogy, I haven't finished the Red Queen's War trilogy, which I need to do. Next up, we have What to Read After You Watch Shadow and Bone by Elliot Brooks. Now, I know a lot of people are watching Shadow and Bone right now, and they may be a little lost after. They might try to figure out, well, where do I go from here? And she gives a pretty good breakdown about what your options are and how to proceed through the series from that point. So it's definitely worth checking out if you just got into the Netflix show Shadow and Bone, which is, of course, based off the book series by Leigh Bardugo. Then we have Pablo Suarez and Man Carrying Thing talking about basically how awesome the BookTube community is. If you're just interested in two people talking about how great this community is, that video is totally worth checking out. For as good of a conversation as it was, it does not have nearly as many views as it should have. So go watch that. And then one more video that's not really a BookTube video. I just want to point out that Netflix dropped a bonus feature extras style video with Leigh Bardugo and a couple booktubers with Cindy and Thoughts on Tombs. And I just think it's amazing that Netflix actually reached out to booktubers and collaborated with them on something. All right, now I'll move on to some current events. Hugo Reads and the Mazza booktuber have started a Stephen King book club, and for the month of May, they're going to be reading Night Shift, which is a collection of short stories by Stephen King. I'll post up their videos or put them down in the description below, but that's totally worth checking out. If you're a fan of Stephen King or a fan of horror, it's great. They have a Discord up. You can follow those videos to get to their Discord links. A huge portion of the BookTube community is talking about Shadow and Bone right now, and that is because the Shadow and Bone Netflix series just dropped this last week on Netflix, and I'm about halfway through. No, I'm like 6 episodes deep, and it's really good. I'll talk more about that later, though. Oh, and also this week, we received news that the 10th anniversary of Prince of Thorns by Mark Lawrence. It's being released by Grim Oak Press. The cover looks fantastic. It looks dark and edgy. I feel like it really shows the heartbreak and just the sorrow and how broken Jorg is. Now, these versions are going to be a little expensive. It's $150 for a limited edition and then $500 for a lettered edition. I don't know if I will actually be able to get a copy. I think I might try and get the limited edition, but we'll see. I recently finished watching The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was great. That was action-packed. It had emotion. It had pretty much everything I wanted it to. I will likely create some kind of content for that either this week or next. What I'm watching like right now, I'm trying to finish the Shadow and Bone TV show. The show, it's a little rushed, but because they mixed in the Six of Crow characters, it feels a lot more interesting than the first book, Shadow and Bone. Now, as soon as I finish that, I'm going to have to dive into Invincible, which is an animated series on Amazon Prime. It reminds me a lot of The Boys, also on Amazon Prime. But recently, Jeremy Johns, is a pretty well-known movie reviewer, or reviewer in general, and he was raving about this. It has a similar tone to The Boys, and I love that, so I'm absolutely going to check that out. I'm reading The Tower of the Living and Dying by Anna Smith Spark, and that is the sequel to The Court of Broken Knives, which is a grimdark fantasy novel that features very lyrical, poetic prose and really messed up characters, which is great. And that'll take up most of my reading time this week, but also I'll sneak in a few short stories of the night shift, trying to keep pace with the Stephen King book club that Maza and Hugo started, like I mentioned earlier. If there's time, one of the days this week, I will jump into Breach of Peace by Daniel Green. I have it. I just haven't dug into it yet. It's only like 90 pages. So one of the days this week, I will knock that out real quick. This is the part where I talk about accountability. The upcoming videos that I have planned for this week is 1, a Shadow and Bone book review of Norleska Groans, which is a grimdark novel by Michael Fletcher. He has another book called Beyond Redemption that is supposed to be like the most grimdark book, according to Mark Lawrence's official grimdark rating scale thing. But I recently read that, and I will be uploading a review this week about that. And then also a movie review for the Demon Slayer Mugen Train arc. That movie just came out last week, and I watched it, and it was amazing, and I want to make a video talking about it. So there's 3 videos right there between today, which I'm going to upload this on a Sunday, and my next video, my next Decero Diary entry, will be on Saturday. And from that point on, it should be every Saturday for the foreseeable future. But so I should upload 3 videos between now and then. If I can do more, there's a couple other things I would like to try to tackle, but I don't know if I'll be able to get to it. But I think 3 is a pretty achievable goal, but we'll see. Now, as far as my writing goes, I've been in a massive writing slump since NaNoWriMo of November 2020. And I'm going to jump back in, not this week. I'm thinking next week is when I'm going to jump back into it. I'm going to do a full, very thorough outline and just kind of show you exactly how I break everything down. And then the week after that should be my first draft. I'm going to need you guys to hold me accountable. Okay. That's also a big reason I'm trying to do this weekly check-in, because if I come back every week and go, oh, still haven't done it yet, I'm going to feel foolish, right? I want to be like, it's not going to be great. So, or I'm just going to start lying and then being like, yeah, I wrote like 500 pages. I wrote a couple books last week, and I just don't want to show you. Yeah, don't worry, I won't lie. A while back, I put up on Instagram and on Twitter, I think also, that once I passed 250 subscribers, I would do some kind of giveaway as just a way to give back to my subscribers. I appreciate that people actually take the time to watch this. Otherwise, I would just be a dude talking to a camera every once in a while by himself. And that's real sad. So for making this less sad, I'm going to give one of my subscribers a $25 gift card to Barnes & Noble. Now to enter, all you have to do is be a subscriber and comment in the comment section down below. Name one story, it could be a book, movie, whatever, that made you emotional. And you have to write it. You have to write the sentence, this story made me emotional, and then say whatever it is. Because I'm going to look for the word story in the comments and put all those together in a randomizer thing that will pick at random one winner. And you also have to either have Twitter or Instagram or some way, or an email, some way for me to be able to actually send you the e-gift card. Does that make sense? All right. Well, that was it for the first episode. If you think this is a good idea and I should do more of this, then hit the like button, and until next time, see ya.